this situation is particularly difficult for me and any therapist really, is when we get referred a child, usually it's for a speech evaluation, and it doesn't take a therapist who's been around for a little while very long to realize this child probably has autism. Not that therapists can diagnose autism. We cannot diagnose autism. We can only refer out for further evaluation. But we pick up on it sometimes. If it doesn't actually take very long for a seasoned therapist to pick up on this child probably has autism. So how we handle that is we try to be very delicate in that situation. Now, sometimes therapists make mistakes and they're a little too strong and say, I think your child has autism. Don't take that personally, because the therapist's motivation is pure. The therapist's motivation is to get your child as much help as fast as possible. But as therapists, we need to remember that this is a family, this is a little child, and that you as mom, as parent, as grandma, as grandpa, are going to take that news pretty hard. I would. I know I would. It would be difficult. So here's the situation. The doctor recommends that your child receive a speech therapy evaluation, or you just recognize my child doesn't have as many words as my other child, or their cousins, or their friends. I probably should get them checked out. Maybe I should get a speech evaluation. So you set up the evaluation. A speech therapist does the eval, and there's a delay in the child's speech. The speech therapist will probably recommend at that point for ongoing therapy, ongoing speech therapy. Come in once a week, twice a week, we're going to get some speech therapy and catch your child up. At that point, the therapist maybe begins to ask you questions or helps you come to understand that there's something else going on maybe here. Maybe they give you what's called an M-chat. So that's an autism screening, and it's just a list of 25 questions, and you can do a search on Google for MChat. It's just the letter M, C-H-A-T, MChat, autism screening. So if you search that, you can fill that out yourself. I don't think there's any cost to it. I think you can download it for free, and you can see where that places your child as far as possible autism. It does not diagnose a child with autism. It simply says, here's some indicators. And it's a good thing to take to your doctor. If you suspect autism, that you fill that out and you can take that to your doctor and you can say, here's what the MChat says. It gives the doctor very concrete information to go off of. And so your therapist might ask you to fill that out. At that point, it's important that you understand that your therapist is trying to help you out, is trying to get this child more help. Maybe it's funding that your child needs. So in our state, I'm in Arkansas, if a parent has private insurance, insurance might not pay for therapy, ongoing therapy for a child with who's not been diagnosed with autism. So if your child actually does have autism, it could be a funding issue to get that therapy paid for, because therapy can be expensive if you're paying out of pocket on a continual basis. So an autism diagnosis or a therapist who comes to you and says, I'm suspecting something else, that actually does not change who your child is. It changes how we're going to get funding for this child, how we're going to set up therapy. It doesn't actually change how we're going to provide therapy, because the therapist is going off the test results of the testing that they're given. If a child comes to me and they have an autism diagnosis, I don't say, oh, okay, here's how I'm going to treat this child. No, I get to know the child. I get to know their strengths. I get to know their weaknesses, and we start addressing those weaknesses. I develop a relationship with that child before I ask them to do difficult things, because they have to trust me. That's the important thing. The diagnosis of autism or suspected autism does not change who your child is. Your child is still that special individual. They're still who they are. And we want to help them as much as we can, which is why we say, I think there's something else going on here. Have you suspected anything else? And it's to get your child more help faster, to get them caught up, because early intervention is the key to helping them maximize their abilities and who and what they can do down the road. So if you have questions on that, leave a comment down below, or you can email me. It's scott@therapy4kids.net, and that's the number 4. And that's our website also, therapy, the number 4, kids.net. And we have more information over there. We have a developmental screening. If you live in Arkansas, you can fill out that free developmental screening, and we'll get back with you and let you know how your child does compared to their peers. That's important, and it's free if you live in Arkansas. So Therapy for Kids has 2 clinics. We have one in Greenbrier, we have one in Conway, and we can also see kids in your preschool, even if you're outside the Faulkner County area. Thanks for watching. God bless.